This is Sean.
This is Kevin.
And this is the One Other Thing Season 2.
Two.
Episode 1. I'm still not looking at the camera.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. I forgot where we put it.
It's just weird. I think I need we need to put like a little face up there that I can like look at.
Yeah, look at it. Say, I'm like looking past someone's soul over there.
It's just weird to me. Like talking to you and looking over here. Like if I just did this normally, if I just, was talking to you, looking some other random direction, that shit would be weird.
Yeah, I know. Is this weird for the audience? I'm just looking at the ceiling now.
Yeah, so it's just bizarre. So, welcome to Season 2.
Welcome. Big changes. We moved the cast logo into the corner.
Down here.
Yes, it was up here. Now it's down here.
Yeah, we have the
major
screen.
Changes. Yes.
We do, in fact, have it. When, in fact, we had it at the end of Season 1.
Yes.
Theoretically, it works.
Yeah, we'll try it out.
Eventually.
I'm pretty sure it's green.
Yeah, that much I got right.
Yeah.
It's big.
I'm also semi-clean shaven, so it's a little weird. But now I have a mullet going on. And after wearing this unfortunate outfit, I now think of myself, when I see myself in this camera here, I think of myself, remember The Walking Dead? Remember the guy with the mullet?
Oh, that's fantastic.
I think I look like him now.
That's great. Well, you do have a bit of the cowboy thing going on with your denim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to go for the Midwest demographic here. I was mean to Ohio earlier, so.
That's awesome. You're trying to make up in Season 2?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like, this was in my closet, and now I have no idea why I put it on.
It's fantastic. Well, I was wondering how I was going to introduce us to, anybody that's joining us for the first time. And frankly, I can't think of a better introduction than we just did right there. So those of you joining us for the first time, welcome.
Welcome.
And
more of this.
Yeah, expect a lot more of this. And we'd love to have you be a part of the conversation. And that being said, those who do, in fact, listen, welcome back.
Welcome.
Sorry we left you waiting so long. And, with that said, I wanted to jump right into the list.
The list.
Infamous handwritten list
Yes.
amongst all these wires and technology. Pen and paper still rules the roost here. So we had left, right around the holidays, and we'd said we were going to be back. We were thinking second week of January.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
No, here we are, the second week of February.
Yeah.
And, I just want to say that, one, I attribute that to the fact that time is slippery. It moves so very quickly. It's ridiculous.
It's a construct, yeah.
Yeah, it's just really rough. And the second thing is Kevin and I are basically falling apart is the best way I can say it. The years are unkind to everybody, and, the piper always shows for his due. And,
Yes.
We've had to make some regular payments as of late. So,
yeah.
I can't go so far as to say we're not dying because, let's face it, folks, spoiler alert, we all are.
Yeah.
But
That's an Iron Maiden song, right? The moment you're born, you're dying?
It's whether or not they sang that, that's true. It is true. It's, in fact, a reality of it all. But I think we're okay. I think we're going to be all right.
Yeah. We'll pull through. At least
Short
for
term.
next. Yeah. At least through season 2.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
see. I don't know about through season 3. We'll see.
We'll see. But no, in sincerity, yeah, we've had a few medical issues here and there, and just took some time. So, but we're back. We are.
Actually, I kind of blame the whole thing of January 6th. I think that really took a lot out of me.
I believe that, actually. So, I mean, honestly, we're kind of following the list without even trying. So, I mean, I was going to try very, very hard not to talk about politics, but considering it consumes so much of my soul these days, it is hard not to. And it's breaking my heart. But, so January 6th, I mean, so what happened on that?
I don't know. I mean, a whole bunch of traitors.
It's painful.
It was, and it hurt a lot. I mean, it really, and it still does.
I'd ask the question, because I don't know, I try to stay abreast of the news.
Yeah.
And that's right, I said abreast
He did.
on the show.
Yes.
And because of that, I knew enough to be watching.
Yeah.
And so I'm working, but I'm watching live as people storm our Capitol. And I had to ask the question, is there a line? And if there is, because personally, again, I think we crossed that line a long time ago.
Yeah.
But is there a line? Is there a line where people stand up and say, wow, that's too far. That's the fucking White House. That is,
Yeah.
it's so much more than a physical structure.
Yeah.
It is the symbol of freedom to the world. It is honestly what gives us, well, stand corrected, what gave us this moral high ground, these bragging rights for so long is, look, we're making it work.
Yeah.
People of differing opinions are making it work. And that all crumbled in that moment. That is gone.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's gone forever. We could certainly rebuild it, and we're still America, but we all lost something regardless of your ideology that day. And it's killing me that, like right now, he's being tried, Trump's being tried for impeachment there. It's actively happening, and let's face it, right now it still looks like he's going to be acquitted because, frankly, that's not too far. Apparently that's okay.
Yeah, I don't think there are enough votes to,
Yeah,
convict him.
because basically, and I'm trying to comprehend, like the fact that that's even debatable right now is a problem. Because what is the message I'm supposed to be receiving here? So when my when my horse doesn't come in, do I just rally some folks and come on, Tooters?
Yeah.
We're storming something.
Yeah, set up some gallows outside somewhere and say, hey, we're going to kill whoever we grab first.
Yeah, I mean, because your ideology doesn't agree with mine.
Yeah.
And now I'm hearing talk about unity. Oh, Democrats. And first of all, I'm not a Democrat. I'd just like to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm honestly not that big a fan of Biden, but there was no choice. You did not give me a decision on that one, folks.
Well, yeah. I mean, he could be asleep at the wheel. It's still fine with me, to be honest with you. I mean, it's fine.
But at least when he speaks, I'm not embarrassed for our country. I'll say that.
Right.
But, can't say I'm an ardent supporter either. But be that as it may, I'm hearing talks about unity. The Democrats, or basically anybody who's not a raving lunatic for Trump, we unity.
Yeah.
And my first response to that is, America, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah.
That's my first response there.
Yeah.
There can be no unity when you've got a section of people that cannot decipher fact from fiction, that cannot acknowledge what a fact is. There is a large population, a large percentage of our country right now, that no evidence would be enough to prove to them that there was not a rigged election, that this was not fixed. And the worst hypocrisy, the worst irony of it all, is the people that are supporting, Trumpers, we'll call them that for lack of a better term, but the people that are supporting this, in fact, I'll even go so far as to say all Republicans, because whether or not you agree, you are in fact supporting this.
Yep.
You think you're a nationalist. You think you're patriotic. Meanwhile, you're pushing for things such as let this one man have all the power.
Yeah.
Let him control the media. I want him to control the media that I see. They call that communism.
Yeah. Which they're really against, apparently.
But yet, you're true-blooded Americans, G.I. Joe, I'm the all red-blooded, all-American, Don McLean kind of. I'm USA, and I want communism. Is basically it. And the only thing is, you're literally too stupid to connect the dots. I'm not trying to be insulting, but you're being fleeced, and you've been fleeced. The promises that have been made have never been delivered. If you think Trump was a good idea for our country, I don't know how to bridge this gap because there's an education gap here. There's a problem with just simple understanding of what fact is. And I'm truly not trying to be insulting because I would like unity. I would love to make people understand. But when you've got like Marjorie Taylor Greens in the world, I'm sorry, Georgia, that's who you want representing you?
Yeah.
Is that what Georgia's like? Really, I've been to Georgia, and I thought it was beautiful. Honestly, I was thinking I'd like to spend more time there, but perhaps not.
Yeah.
If that's indicative of what the populace there thinks, if that's how you behave, then, and if you don't find that deplorable, like that, there's a real problem in our society. And I'm not trying to be hateful in any way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to say, how do you bridge that gap, buddy?
Yeah.
So that's what our show is here for today.
Yeah. Yeah, it did break my heart. And I just saw there was a study today that said that we could have saved 40,000 more lives, if we just did things a little bit differently in the United States.
Absolutely. In regards to COVID, you mean?
COVID, yeah.
I bet that number is, I think 40,000 is completely lowballing that number.
It could be, but it's probably all they can, within the margin of error,
Sure.
without the rest probably just guessing. So maybe it's at least 40,000 lives we could have saved.
Yeah.
Or more.
Exactly. 40,000 people.
Yeah.
40,000. I mean, and you think about it too.
Yeah.
It's not for just 40,000 people. It's 40,000 families.
Yeah.
So that's a much bigger number. And God forbid if anybody that's a listener has, lost anybody to COVID, or honestly just losing anybody. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's that one death is, it's just a number. It's a big number too, what was it, Stalin? One death's a tragedy and millions a statistic.
Yeah.
It's 40,000 is a big number. But again, that's so many families that were impacted, so many lives that were just didn't have to be that way.
Right.
And God, what a horrible way to go, too. You can't see your loved ones because you don't want to infect them. It's just shitty deal, man. Tough times.
It is. It sucks. Definitely sucks.
God damn, this show's a bummer.
Yeah, it is.
But it's true, though. I'm glad we're talking about it, though, because, not to bum you folks out, but honestly, hopefully, and we've actually had this said to us, and this actually really raised my spirits. We had some feedback that just kind of hearing somebody kind of say aloud what they'd been thinking, or at least some of what they've been thinking.
Yeah.
That it was uplifting, that it somehow gave them some solace to know, well, at least I'm not the only one that looks around and says, wow,
Yeah.
how did we get so far off the rails? And more importantly, how do we get back? Because, man, I've said it for 4 years, but if Aryan nation, just ignorant hate is what a great America looks like, I don't want to be great.
Yeah.
And we were that way, kind of. So if that's what we're aiming for, no, that's not cool. And I don't think that's what we as a group want either.
Yeah, I didn't think we were such a hateful country until the last 4 years. I knew there was always some parts of the country that just grew up that way and they're just going to hate their whole lives just because that's how they're raised. And I actually thought it was, leaning toward, a better world. And
As did I.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, they were there. We just didn't see them.
Mm-hmm.
And now that permission to come out and spew all their hate. And I'm like, it's like someone gave him permission to do it. And we know who did it because he preached it too. He preached hate.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah.
And I'd never been that, my entire life. I mean, I grew up in Midwest Ohio. Trust me, there was hate growing up.
Yeah.
And I guess maybe that's why I forgot about it because I moved out of Ohio and I wasn't around it, because I went to, a predominantly white high school and stuff like that. So it was racist, I grew up with racism all around me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I moved to New York, everybody seems to be so much more open and, I work at a public job, so diversity is a thing every day and it's great and I enjoy it. And even when I was like 19, I met people from other countries and I'd always sit down and I'd go to lunch with them and say, hey, tell me about your culture, because I was fascinated about some of these things.
Without a doubt.
And I've always been that way in my entire life, and maybe it's because my little bubble of hey, this is my whole world is nothing but acceptance. And then all of a sudden, turn on the news, and some celebrity becomes president, and it's like, I hate everyone, and you should hate him too. And I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea this existed.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it existed, but not to this extent. It was just like, wow, I thought we're healing as a nation and as a world, and no, it feels like we're going backwards. Yeah. It's like we're back to, we need to go and storm the streets and, take back our country, but, non-violently. And we need to protest again, like back in the old days, the MLK days,
Honestly, we look like the third world videos that we've been seeing for years, and it started with the gassing of the protesters in D.C. and the people that are making comparisons between, I don't even know what to call the people from January 6th. They're not protesters.
No.
They're not rioters. Insurrectionists, I'll settle for. Traitors is a good one.
Yeah.
there's no comparing that to the Black Lives
Yeah.
Matter protests. They're one symbolic of the system being a real problem. The other is you fabricated a story and now you think the system's broken and you claim to be law and order, yet you don't recognize any court judgments that have said there's no evidence. So what exactly laws are we following? The law of Trump? Is it the art of the deal? Is that where I find the instructions that we're
don't know.
following here?
And Blue Lives Matters, which they claim is not true.
Absolutely not.
That's not true with them. And half of them, if not more, didn't even vote. So I don't even know why they're even there. So
I gotta jump in here because I know you read it. It just blows my fucking mind. The world's gone batshit crazy.
yeah, it's like
I'm a huge. I call myself a Leo guy. I'm a law enforcement officer. I fully support the boys in blue in every which way possible. They're putting their lives in harm's way.
yeah,
That being said,
yeah,
now that we got that out of the way, and
Yes.
God bless them all, and thank you for your service. You had one thing to fucking do. I'm coming down to that. Protect and serve the 9-year-old girl that got sprayed in the face with mace
yep.
in the car. Do you know the story I'm speaking
No,
of?
no, I do not.
Oh my God, I don't
didn't
know
see
how.
this one.
Yep. Well, that's basically the story. Girl, and I believe she may have been in cuffs, but either way,
I think
9-year-old girl sprayed in the face with mace
Yeah,
in the
why?
back of a police car.
If she's already in the car?
Yeah.
Oh, that's wrong. That is wrong.
And then, as I understand it, too, is the chief of police, at least initially, I don't know if he's changed his tune since then, defended the behavior.
You can't.
You're no longer qualified for your job. Protect and serve.
Yeah, yeah,
You clearly misunderstood the instructions.
yeah. You failed in both protect and serving. I mean,
And I'm sorry again. I God bless them. I do support them, and
Yes.
and I'm not saying anybody who's saying you can't have law enforcement. You're just talking crazy talk. So you just got to cut that out.
Yeah.
But something is fundamentally wrong. I've read these stories of, let's face it, it's a privilege and a power.
yeah,
And yes, I thank you. I thank all of them for their service because it's a dangerous job. I also think for many it's a calling, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I think there are many police officers out there that have no choice in the matter. They are what they are, much like I do what I do for a living because that's what I do.
Yeah.
It's not a decision, it's what I do.
yeah,
I believe that for many that is in fact the case. But I think that power is clearly there's something wrong with this system right now when it's being abused so frequently. One of the things I'm a big proponent of is body cams.
yeah,
And if they're turned off for any reason, the presumption is the officer is guilty.
yeah.
That's basically the rules. So here's your body cam. You can turn it off all the time. Anything goes down, the presumption is you are guilty.
Yeah, I heard somewhere that I forget somebody. It's one of those I forget what city, but they're saying mandatory on.
Absolutely.
Nonstop. You
Absolutely.
can't turn 'em off.
If you're
Yeah.
doing something that shouldn't be on the camera, I'm going to go out on a limb. In fact, please write in somebody. Tell me what the thing is that shouldn't be on camera.
Yeah.
And I don't care about somebody's embarrassing moments or this, that, or the other. That can either be deleted or ignored. So
Yeah.
what is it exactly that would provoke a law enforcement officer to be like, you know what? I'm going to turn this off, but don't worry. Nothing shady.
Yeah,
going
nothing
on
shady
here.
up in here. I've watched too much Shameless to fall for that.
So call me, a man of little trust because I am, but
Yeah.
it's a problem as well. So sorry, I know we were in the middle of, bigger problems with the country. The democracy is falling out because we had, but for the record, by the way, does everybody realize the coup, because that's what it was, only failed because of pure ignorance.
Yeah, they were stupid. Thank God.
Yeah. That's my point is only because they're dumb.
And there was a couple heroes inside there at Capitol who, helped people and knew what was happening and misdirected people.
Absolutely.
So it was, they're lucky
And
that they had good people there.
officers were basically set to die. I mean, let's face it. That was, and by the way, that's my big problem too with Democrats right now.
Yeah.
The problem. Okay, we've got half the Senate that just looks at this man inciting a riot and is like, Seems on the up and up to me. Not in the Constitution. You can't impeach somebody, which is a bullshit argument. It's literally been done, but be that as it may.
It's also a catch-22 because he says he's still president.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Which is it, Q?
Exactly. Sorry.
Oh God. I sent you that picture right of the hat that just said "stupid as fuck," and it was FAQ.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But anyway, be that as it may. Honestly, I don't even care if I offend Q people. I don't even care. Where were we going with this?
Democrats.
The argument shouldn't be about the inciting the thing, because again, half the Senate is willing to look at that and just kind of make some bullshit argument and ignore the evidence.
Yeah.
The argument should be failure to act. The White House was being stormed.
Yeah.
Actively. A civilian, I was watching this on TV. I was watching this happen. I was watching these insurgents invade our hallowed halls.
Yep.
And our commander-in-chief sent a text of encouragement during this time.
Yep.
Again, I don't care what your ideology is. You had one thing to do.
Yeah.
It's the commander-in-chief, if nothing else, above all else, I would say, your job is to protect that location.
Yeah, to tell all these people storming the castle that, I love you and you're doing the right thing and I don't blame you for doing this. It's
Exactly. So, I mean, this is what drives me so crazy because, again, the people supporting this believe they're patriotic. They believe they're red-blooded Americans. This is go America.
And even now, with them all being arrested, they're like, hey, I would do it again.
Absolutely.
No,
they've learned nothing. I mean, look at these. If Ted Cruz is your representative, I mean, I'm sorry, Texas. Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, I'm remembering the Alamo, and I'm sure regretting that we just don't give you back at this point. If that's truly what's representative of you, man.
Yeah.
I know you have libraries. Go check one out. Seriously. Read a book.
They're just terrible. And plus they asked for help, and the White House denied them for the help.
Yep.
And Pence, when he's the one, which I didn't think he could do, but he asked for the help, and I'm not sure he was supposed to have that authority.
It's funny how fear of one's life and self-preservation will make you do funny things.
Yeah. Wasn't enough though that Pence didn't want to, he could have removed him from office.
They're terrified.
And
they're terrified of the Trump followers. That I'm sure they're not a fan of me if they had actually listened.
Yeah.
Because we're talking zealotry. We're talking just pure insanity at this point. And again, I ask you, if Josh Hawley,
the younger senator,
if that's your representative, ask yourself: does that represent your values? And if it does, I gotta say, I'm against unity. Yeah. I'm throwing the gauntlet down.
Wow.
I mean, if these wingnuts that just believe anything that comes out of Trump's mouth, if they refuse, again, at that point, no evidence is enough. They refuse to acknowledge fact. There's no unity to be had. There's no discussion to be had. There's no sharing of ideologies and exchanging of views because you're crazy.
Well, how do you convince somebody of the truth when they believe that space lasers are causing all the fires in California?
I believe they're Jewish space lasers.
That is true. You're Jewish space lasers.
Because the Jesus space lasers, they don't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
I loved it when she came on TV and she wanted, when she's being removed from all the committees, and she goes, 9/11 did happen.
Yeah.
Like,
thank you.
we know.
Yeah.
We know what happened.
Well aware. Thank you for confirming
Thank you for
that.
confirming, because you said it didn't,
Yeah. Honestly, though, I'm not kidding, man. You should be appalled. The fact that she was put onto a school board.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, I know the answer, but have you no shame?
Yeah.
And that's really the problem. There is none. There's no shame whatsoever. Yeah. But, I mean, again, if nothing happens, and that seems to be it. SNL had this right for 4 fucking years. Ain't nothing going to happen.
Depressing, yeah. Yeah, they said that, right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, he did all this, but nothing's going to happen.
Mick plays that bit for me all the time. Ain't nothing going to happen.
Ain't nothing going to happen.
So far, they're spot on. And, I mean, apparently nothing matters. It's just what is the message we're sending? Honestly, fuck your kids. I'm sure, that is a good, fair question. What message is this sending your kids? But fuck them. What am I supposed to read out of this? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to be selfish for a minute. How am I supposed to interpret this?
Yeah.
So it's really, really tough.
Well, I don't think we knew it was this broken until now. Now we know it's been broken and probably been broken for, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And how do you come back from that? I mean, not going to take Biden's. He's going to help with some things, but it's not going to turn this whole bus around.
Yeah, it's OAN's just as crazy as ever.
Yeah.
They're still spouting just pure nonsense. And again, it's how do you bridge that gap? Because I mean, you hit them with fact, and they just believe you're lying to them.
Yeah.
It's how do you prove that real is real?
That's why I like the comedy and late night talk show hosts, like Jimmy Kimmel, who goes back in the street and goes, "So, what evidence do you have that this happened?" He told us it was a fraud. I'm like, but there's no evidence. So you're just taking his word for it. A celebrity who lies constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
And documented liar. You're going to take his word for it.
Yeah.
Why?
And they're like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why, Mike Lydell?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. Is he just rich enough to where it just doesn't matter if he ever sells another pillow?
I know, that guy's a nut job.
He's like
an absolute nut job.
I guarantee, like Trump, when he has a meeting with him, it's just like, this guy's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I know. He thinks he's nuts.
I guarantee it.
I swear those pills must be whispering weird things in his ear at night.
I guarantee it, because that guy is out there, man.
Yeah, they had to cut him. They even cut him off of Fox News or something. They had to cut him off because he was they're being sued.
Oh yeah, have you seen the numbers? By the way?
Oh yeah, billions of dollars.
It makes me smile.
Yeah,
it just makes me laugh.
They're like, you can't talk about that. We just want to talk about the tweet stuff.
Yeah,
and they're like, no, you don't understand.
I love that.
The aliens.
And everyone's. I just don't get it. I honestly think they're just too stupid to understand what's happening. Because like Giuliani should be pissing his pants.
Yeah, I know.
And he's like, whatever. Wow. And it's 1.3 billion.
Yeah, I know.
Believe. Billion.
And the thing is, they're probably entitled to a portion of that. I mean, quite a large portion of that because of the damage to their business based on nothing.
Actually, I was, yeah, 1.3 billion. I mean, let's face it, they're not getting that.
No,
we all know this.
No, but they might get some millions.
But if you were to put a number on it, I can't say that they're wrong.
No.
Because think about the damage to their reputation. I mean, you could say Chavez is the only one that would buy from them.
Yeah, I know, and he's dead.
It's just so unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. The only guy from the grave. And the Republicans probably think, yeah, he's still voting,
Yeah, he voted in Georgia.
He voted in Georgia 5 times.
Oh, my God.
And every single fraud they found so far, people voting more than once, has been a Republican, just so you know.
Like, it's not even satire. It's just, this is, like I said,
sad.
I want to repeat it because it's such a tragic thing to say, but I want us all to know this is true. The moral high ground for our country is gone. It is evaporated. When we used to hold our chin up high, and honestly, I try not to be a completely smug bastard, so when we'd see third world countries, I wouldn't say, ha, we're better than you. I would think, thank God we've learned more.
Yeah.
Apparently we
apparently not, no. Yeah, I've seen other countries' reactions to what happened, and they're like, we never thought this would happen to the U.S. This is just doesn't make any sense to anybody.
Nor did I.
Yeah.
Nor did I. It's so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And you can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't turn your head and pretend that you just don't see. Saying Bob Dylan to you.
Yeah. And pride is always. I've had a lot of pride in the United States. I don't know the way I grew up. I always wrote to senators and astronauts, and I was always proud of. I have letters too.
I'm a nationalist. I'm not even kidding. I'm super proud of be American. I
bought an American flag. I wanted to put it on my house. My wife wouldn't let me because our house is brick. I would have to drill in the brick. She wouldn't let me. But I purposely purchased this because I wanted to display American flag in my house.
Nice. Good
that was a thing I always wanted to do. She talked me out of it, so I ended up giving it to my in-laws. And he displayed. My father-in-law put it outside my house, so at least it was displayed.
So your wife turned you into a communist.
Basically, yes.
Yeah, that's the moral lesson here.
Yes, but yes, I've always been. I always put up. Even in Independence Day, I put up red, white, and blue colors and flags and stuff. I've always thought good things about the country I live in, and I still think it's a great country. I just didn't know there's so many dumb people. Yeah. I had no clue that was so many. And because I thought there might be a bunch of dumb people, in the middle America who just basically were just on ranches and barely watched the news and didn't really know anything. Now I know it's about 70-some million people, and that's really makes me sad.
It is. It's rough, but that's the thing. I mean, I keep hearing, especially from people I know, I don't feel that way. I don't support that. But if you're voting for these types of people, contrary mon frere, you do in fact support that.
Yeah.
And this is terrible because people keep getting in trouble for making any kind of reference to Trump and the Nazis or Holocaust or Jews. I don't know. We just don't like to talk about the fact that some bad shit happened, and not for nothing. If you're comparing Trump to a Fuhrer of any kind, I can see where you're going with that. But what comes to mind is a scene from Band of Brothers. There was a town next to one of the Holocaust camps where they were constantly gassing and burning bodies, and they were doing it with such a degree that it basically snowed in this town constantly, but it was actually ashes of dead human bodies. So when the Americans found the camp, they realized that this town basically, you knew what was going on. There's no way you did not know. You were all complicit, basically. So what they did was they rounded up all the townspeople of all classes, and they made them go and dig the holes for the burial pits and put all the bodies in them. It was just really rough. And I hate to draw any parallels, but it's anybody who's basically voting for any of these people that are preaching hate, basically. If you're shielding yourself with this ideology of, well, I don't feel that way, I don't support that. If you're voting that way, allow me to remove the blinders. You are, in fact, supporting that. You are making it happen. You are basically those people living in that village.
Yeah.
Have you gassed anybody? Have you burned a single body? No. Are you complicit in some way? Absolutely. Yeah. And that's what's killing me. It's just mind-boggling. And I'm not a politician. I don't even want to follow politics, frankly.
Yeah. No, I didn't really follow politics before this.
But when we can't agree on basic fundamentals, here's some radical thoughts for you. People that have a different color skin than you, they're people just like you are. Yeah. Whoa. If we can't agree on that, we got a problem. I don't know how to fix that. Yeah. Here's another radical one for you. This is going to blow your mind, folks. I hope you're sitting down. Women, they're people too. And they're just as good as you are, regardless of what you got hanging between your legs or not. Yeah. It's radical concepts. I mean, these are basic. I can't believe these things even need to be said.
No, I thought I always pictured 30 or 40 years from now it'll be all fixed. I always grew up saying, "Hey, we're almost there." Boy, was I dumb.
Yeah. No, we're not. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're making progress, and man, I'm not kidding. I think we talked about it already, but boy, when Joe Biden, because thank you, thank you, SNL.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
Just the minute I heard it, I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah,
there we go.
Joe Biden. Yeah,
so,
that was awesome.
Joe Biden and Kamala, when they first basically accepted there, freaking cried. I was just, and it was partly I hadn't taken a breath in 4 years. It was partly that, so that was nice. But it was also the fact that Kamala, first of all, and I'm sure I'm fucking up her name, but
he does too, so it's all right.
It's exactly. It's just oh my God, you're a woman, and you're not white.
Yep.
Did not think we were there yet. So happy that we are, but did not think for once we exceeded my expectations. I just didn't think we were there yet, and
that's why there's hope. You can't give up. That's why
not.
We can get there, but I don't know what's gonna happen. What we can do to change all these people's minds.
Oh, I wish I could give up. Giving up would feel so much better than this. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. I want to bridge the gap. I just don't know how.
Yeah.
It's. When QAnon decides that gravity's not a thing, I'm going to rejoice because that one's fairly easy to prove, and I'm not going to prove it because they'll all figure it out for themselves.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the thing here. It's I don't know how you debate when you
Yeah.
can't decipher what a fact is.
Yeah, and they think all Democrats eat babies and stuff, and I find that the weirdest thing ever.
It's
Doesn't make any sense to me.
pure.
What? Who?
Okay,
Who?
first of all, so Hillary's eating little babies and drinking their blood and wearing their faces for what reasons?
But they say it's not just Hillary; it's all Democrats now. If you're a Democrat,
that's a lot of babies.
Yeah, it's a lot of babies.
Who's making all these babies?
I don't know.
To what end?
I don't understand.
Because not for nothing, if you tell me it's like a fountain of youth, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, yeah,
That's my counter argument.
yeah,
Yeah. Just throwing that out
yeah.
there.
She's got a couple suitcases in her eyes now, so.
And these are the same wing nuts that were going nuts about the email servers.
Yeah, I know.
And was Hillary Clinton up to some shady shit? Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Yep.
Not, I doubt very much it was particularly bad, you know.
No, it's better than a coup.
I actually liked Bill Clinton, man. He
Yeah.
just, some comedian nailed why, too, because he'd come out, he'd be like, I'm completely full of shit. And you'd be like, boy, you can kind of trust that guy, can't you?
Yeah, yeah. He knew it. He wore it on his sleeve.
But, yeah, it's the same people, though, that went nuts about these email servers are the ones that are just willing to overlook literally anything the man does. I mean, the examples are so countless that I can't even cite them.
There was something. There's like 5 or 10 things new every day, and I figured it was a strategy. And a lot of people thought it was a strategy where what you're worried about was 10 Twitter posts ago. We're over on to the next scam.
Oh yeah.
So you couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
You couldn't keep up with all the scams.
Well, the Twitter thing is hysterical to me because I mean, not for nothing, that hurt him more than losing the presidency did, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And yes, it's petty, and I shouldn't rejoice at that. I absolutely do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thrilled to death about it. Just man, baby, holy shit.
Well, even where I work, where somebody would open up a Zoom feed and they weren't a cat this time.
That's fantastic.
Somebody had their background, all the Twitter and all Facebook, all with gags around the middle of it, their mouths,
Oh, that's
as their background.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yep. So it's it's everywhere. Crazy people.
It's private business. Like it's not. That's not a First Amendment.
Yeah. These are the same people who say it's okay to yell fire in a theater and have
It's not
a panic.
First Amendment thing.
No, it's not. It's
But-
not First Amendment.
But again, I mean, Smartmatic, Dominion, go get them.
Yeah.
Best of luck. I mean,
right.
we all know you're not getting those numbers, but I'm so glad they are those numbers.
Well, you might be able to make some pens out of his head.
Yeah, absolutely.
that's
That's
coming
good. Yeah, yeah.
I made that one up. I didn't get that anywhere. That's why it's a bad joke.
That's a Kevin original.
That was a Kevin original.
Boy, thank you. Just made the show worth it.
Yes.
So I almost feel like we should bow and just end the show now.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we're going
we
to keep
should.
going a little
We
while.
should. Oh yeah, it's a short show still.
That's fantastic. Wow, your custom jokes just threw me completely off. But I'm glad there's such big numbers because it's got to be a message that you can't just. This isn't okay.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you can't punish them with logic, but if you can punish their pocketbooks, that's the only way you can get through these people.
You know the QAnon wingnuts? Yep, I don't care. Don't
Yeah.
care. Wingnuts, fucking crazy people.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them wingnuts. At least wingnut is a useful object.
That's fantastic. They believe that Trump is in fact still president right now.
Yes.
That March 4th, maybe, he's going to reclaim the presidency as the 19th president, some shit like that, because of some ancient document they're misinterpreting.
What is this, some sort of Aztec or?
Who the fuck knows? But
I haven't heard this one.
It's basically every president has been an illegal president because I can't speak fucking stupid is the problem, so I can only loosely translate it. But the theory is sometime in March, Trump will regain his throne. He will ascend, and there'll be a rapture.
Yeah, be a rapture. Yeah, I think they wrote about this in Revelations.
That's funny. That's a funny thing to me too. I want to point that out. Actually, if somehow you were a Trump supporter and you're still listening, first of all, seriously, I gotta good on you, man. Just a glutton, but
yeah,
it's where was I going with this? Just I'm so excited about all
the
of
Revelations.
This.
The religion. You're gonna go about religion.
If we're going with Revelations, you guys know Trump's the 9 or 10 or 13-headed beast. He's
Yeah.
the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's the bad guy in this story.
Yeah.
I'm certain of this, folks. Yeah, and that's the crazy thing too. Like, a lot of folks are still saying greatest president of all time.
Yep.
There's not going to be a legitimate history book that has Trump as being one good for this country,
Yeah.
much less the greatest of all time. Greatest example of how democracies almost fail. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you the Guinness Book on that one.
Yeah.
But that's, again, and this is where, like, we break down, because people, if somehow they were bright red and they were listening, they would be screaming bloody murder right now. That's your opinion. No, it's not, actually. No, that's the thing. It's not my opinion. The history books will put this down as bad for our country, and make no mistake, this was bad for our country.
Yeah.
So if you think what happened on January 6th was great because that supports your ideology, then you are literally anti-America.
Yeah.
Whether or not you realize it. So you think you're patriotic, but you are literally anti-democracy, and you're pushing this country, or trying to push this country, towards communism. And the only reason it didn't work is pure ineptitude.
Yeah. I agree with that 100%.
And, I mean, it's hurting me because, frankly, folks, I hear it all the time, and it's going to sound arrogant, and I don't mean it to, but people say, boy, Sean, you're so smart. Such a smart guy. God, you're smart.
Oh, sorry.
And I think to myself, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
Yes. This is true.
Because, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Am I smarter than the average bear? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to give myself that one.
Yeah, he's smarter than a shaman.
I'll go arrogant on that one. Yep, I'm smarter than a freaking shaman.
Yes.
Yep. God damn, if that's your shaman, holy shit.
I know. Well, at least he got himself moved out of prison with organic food.
That's your shaman. Wow.
Yeah, lives in his mom's basement. That's funny, too.
It's awesome, because I'm pretty certain Fred Flintstone was a part of that cult.
He was. I think it's the same thing. The buffaloes where it was, or yeah, the water buffaloes. It was the water buffaloes. That's what it was. Water buffaloes.
So yeah,
We're dating ourselves now.
Just wow. And again, I ask you,
Yeah.
is that a representative of you?
Yeah.
And now, just again, not to, I know I'm great at hypocrisy, but I'm trying to avoid it these days.
Yeah.
So I also said I'm not a Biden supporter, but you know what? He certainly does a better job of representing my values than anything I've seen in a very long time.
Well, it's not that I'm in love with Biden myself, but I like the fact that he's surrounding himself with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
He's not bringing family members in to, put in high-profile positions with no experience.
You don't think Jared Kushner there was good at anything in life ever?
His job was to create world peace, and he didn't solve that.
The internet's the only thing that gives me solace,
Yeah.
because Junior there's been going on a tear like every 2 seconds. Anybody that'll listen to him, and said anybody that votes votes for impeachment, or you votes for something, I'm going to work the rest of my life to bring you down, and everyone's like, you're going to work.
Yeah, you're gonna work.
Like, you know what that looks like.
Yeah. Do you know what that? Yeah. Have you ever worked a day in your life?
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just brutal.
Yeah.
But
and the thing is, the lawsuits haven't even started yet, and they can now.
well, the Sidney Powell was literally running around state lines, from what I understand. They had to get a private investigator to hunt her down to serve her. And Giuliani was served. He's sometime in March. I want to say he's got to respond.
Yeah, but Trump's going to be, he's going to have lawsuits there, and they're doing investigations in Georgia now.
Yeah,
the big lawsuits against him.
Oh, you're not allowed to, basically inspire election fraud?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that? Oh.
No, so I don't know, maybe people are waiting until after this is done, but yeah, he's gonna spend the rest of his days in courtrooms.
I hope that's untrue.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Rather be behind bars.
But again, my problem is though, it's not really a Trump thing. Again, I don't really blame Trump. Trump's been Trump this whole time. It's like, to me, it's like yelling at a tiger for being striped, and it's like, meow.
Yeah.
It's like, it's gonna have stripes tomorrow too.
Yeah, it's
Trump
what I do.
was gonna be Trump tomorrow, and the day after, and thereafter.
Yeah.
What you can do to shut him down is something that apparently people can't do, is you simply ignore him.
Yeah.
And then he goes away. Which seems to be too big an ask. But, yeah, he has all sorts of lawsuits coming at him. All sorts of lawsuits.
Yeah,
I
they've
mean,
been
honestly,
holding on to him,
If I was the family of that officer that got killed, I'd be suing the shit right out of him. And the irony is, the girl who got killed, who, you know what she got killed of? Stupidity. Yeah. She caught a bullet for being dumb.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, quite frankly, and this is a terrible thing to say because, I mean, these are human lives we're talking about. They should have been mowed down. That's our capital we're talking about. And the worst part is I saw this right after, and this makes my blood boil because I know it to be true.
Yeah.
I can't remember who said it, but it was basically a black woman who said, if they'd looked like me, they never would have reached the door.
Yeah.
And the worst part is I believe her to be correct. And that is what I'm talking about. If we cannot agree on these basic principles, that, you know, human beings are human beings.
Yeah.
You know, there's a really big problem. Like, if you don't know that what happened on the 6th is wrong, we have a gigantic problem. If you think that's what patriotism looks like, there's a big problem. And, you know, I know Republicans were going nuts over re-education here, you know, because Katie Couric and somebody else had talked about how these Trump supporters need to be reprogrammed. They need to be re-educated. And I take great umbrage at that because you cannot possibly re-educate a Trump supporter. There's no re involved.
Yeah.
There is no re to be used here. It's just a failure to acknowledge fact. And again, I don't know how to bridge that.
Well, send them over to Russia because that's apparently where they want to live.
Yeah, you know, again, they think they're red, white, and blue. They think they're pro-democracy, and meanwhile they're pushing for communism.
Yeah.
It hurts. But, wow. Anything else on that one? 'Cause, boy, not bad for not talking about politics.
Yeah, I know.
For the record, I literally wrote it hurts.
It hurts. It hurts, yeah.
Not kidding. It hurts.
Johnny Cash. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Boy, you know, whoever did that, by the way, he's referring to Johnny Cash covering Nine Inch Nails' Hurt, which, I mean...
Watch the video if you're going to listen to it.
Just unbelievable. Not to mention, Johnny Cash, man, he can sing anything, and it's just miserable, you know?
He's the first rap artist ever. Prove me wrong.
Blondie, I want to say Heart of Glass.
Heart of Glass.
Not Heart of Glass, no, Rapture. There's a Blondie song where she raps.
Yeah, but Johnny Cash was rapping back in the freaking 50s. You know, I've Been Everywhere Man, and it was a rap song.
It's not a rap song.
It's rap.
Been to Reno, Chicago. Dude.
Yeah,
I know
that's
what you're
rap.
talking about, yeah.
He's if you're talking a song, you're rapping. I'm just saying, he's not singing.
Says the whitest boy ever. The whitest boy in the room.
Yeah.
Actually, it's probably not. Actually, yeah. No, you are the whitest boy in the room, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You are. Yeah. That's awesome. Yep.
I
do
have a mullet.
That's all. Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah, not for nothing. Yeah, I don't think you need to explain to us what rap is. Just white splains.
Oh, come on.
Did I just make a new thing?
Oh, God. I white-splain rap about Johnny Cash. I still say he's a rap artist.
White-splain rap about Johnny Cash. I fucking love our show.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Makes no sense.
Oh, boy. Yeah, sincerely, if you're out there and you're listening, we love you, man. We love having you here. And, again, we want to hear from you. In fact, we didn't even get into that, but what the hell? You ready?
Yeah, we're
Are you
ready.
for me to toss the ball to you?
Yeah, toss the ball.
Kevin, if somebody's listening and they're like, first of all, big F you to everything you said about Trump, he's our boy, because
put out your face.
MAGA. Or if you're, listening and you're like, boy, this is great, I'm enjoying this, or shut the hell up, or boy, you guys should talk about this. We'd love to hear from you. We really would. And how would somebody do that? What would they do?
I don't remember.
It's been so long. I have no idea.
Well, back in the day. Okay, so we have a website, tootcast.net. And you can email us toot@tootcast.net.
That is accurate.
I forget our web address or email address. Email us. We have a Facebook page, Patreon if you want to join. We have one member so far.
I am the keeper of the email.
The
So,
email.
yeah.
Keep your email. So
I don't
Sean,
check it every day, but I do check it, and I do
Yeah.
respond to pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's true. So check us out, and yeah, at tootcast.net. You can yell at us or suggest less controversial topics to talk about as well.
Absolutely. Or just say hi. We'd love to hear from you
Yes.
if you're out there.
And if you want the logo someplace else, let me know.
It's awesome. Like, yeah, we were putting it over my face
Yeah.
before. I personally was a fan of that, but,
Yeah.
It's great. Well, this is a show, and again, it's, boy, for having nothing, we're already 49 minutes in.
I know.
But
It is like the Seinfeld show. We actually talk about nothing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's truly fun. So,
Yeah.
again, if you're out there and you're, part of the family, you've been listening for a long time,
Yes.
great. Thank you. Love having you here. And if you're just joining us and this is kind of your jam, well, we're your friends, Sean and Kevin, and this is basically what we do.
Yes.
This is it.
Yep. And we made it to a second season, so.
Absolutely, yeah. So more to come. But, well, it wouldn't be a show, I don't feel, unless we did the What Are You section.
Oh, what are you? Yeah.
So, Kevin, what are you watching?
Well, I guess from the Christmas break, what was I watching? I think I caught up on all the Mandalorian.
Okay.
Um,
I'm caught up on that.
You caught up on that? Yeah. Of course, they fired what's her face
I
because
know.
she was a Trumper.
Because she was just hateful and
Yeah, hateful and a Trumper.
ignorant, and,
Yeah, it's a shame because I really liked her character.
how did they get rid of her, I wonder?
I don't know. They're gonna write her off somehow, so they don't know yet.
I fucking hope Baby Yoda kills her with a dreidel.
Oh, that would be cool. The dreidel to that. And it'd be like the like Dune, in the 1984 movie where the dreidel comes and just slows down and slowly melts into her face. Sorry.
Oh, that's great.
Sorry.
That's why we're friends.
Yeah. I have been watching Babylon 5 because HBO Max remastered it.
Oh, and actually the show
Yeah.
wasn't on.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Mira Furlong.
Oh, yeah. So I do have a picture. I'm not going to show it, but I took a picture of my face when I found out Mira Furlan passed away from West Nile virus.
Did you
What?
find out via my text, by the way?
No, I knew.
Okay.
I knew when I took a picture. Yeah, I knew. I was sad. But I met her. I was.
She met Kevin.
She met me. I do have an autograph picture, a couple pictures of her that she autographed. So you should look her up if you don't know anything about her, because even if you hate Babylon 5, you think it's campy, don't worry about what he thinks. It's a great show.
She was Rousseau from Lost.
Yeah,
That's how Mick knows her.
Yeah, but she was only 10 episodes, but she was in the entire run of Babylon 5, and she was from a war-torn country, and she had death threats from the president of the country and all this. So she's had a very interesting life.
We're heading that direction.
We're heading that direction now, yeah. But a very, very nice person. She didn't really understand conventions, but Bruce Boxleitner, which I just saw on Tron. I just saw an interview of him. He still considers Babylon 5 his favorite acting gig, even beyond Tron, which is weird. But he loved playing in Babylon 5.
Shaking those heads out of my.
I know. So he convinced her to go to all these conventions and stuff, and she didn't really get it, but she still went. But I'm very sad that she passed away because she. I don't know. There's not many people left on Babylon 5 that's alive. There's 5 people left that was in the main cast. It's everyone
like
else
the
is gone.
first show, huh?
It's pretty much There's I belong to a Babylon 5 fan club on Facebook.
I love
Actually,
that
a couple
about you.
fan clubs, and every year they put a picture of all the entire cast of Babylon 5 and they make all the ones that pass away in black and white, and the rest are in color.
Oh, that's kind of classy, actually. I dig
So,
that.
so there's not much left in color.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
What about our Russian friend there?
She's still alive. Ivanova? Yeah, she's still alive. Bruce Tron's still alive. But all the main...
Garibaldi's dead, yeah.
Garibaldi.
Londo,
Londo's still alive.
Oh, Londo's still alive. Okay.
Yeah, he's Peter Jurassic.
I'm
played
thinking
him.
of his understudy there, or whatever.
Oh,
it
Veer
was.
Kato, Flounder. He was in Flounder in
Yeah.
Animal House. Yeah, he passed away, which is weird. He got a fan gave him a kidney or something.
Yeah, you told me that story. Yeah, it was
And,
crazy.
and I guess it only had a year to his life, and he died the next year.
365 days.
But if you're gonna watch Babylon 5, definitely watch the remastered version, because unfortunately when they put it on DVD, they smushed out all the CGI.
I saw that. I read an article on that actually. I think I sent it to you too. But
It's very noticeable,
it did make a difference. You could tell.
and I'm okay with now. It's not widescreen anymore, but I'd rather see it clearly rather than having widescreen, because it wasn't even televised in widescreen in the 90s anyways.
Well, yeah, the perspective was off.
Yeah, it was perspective. So now it actually looks like. So the show came out between 93 and 98. So it actually looks like it came out in 99. So it's much
Nice.
clearer. So
awesome.
it's much clearer. But I was already rewatching, because I watch Babylon 5 every year. I do, with the entire
It's 5
run.
seasons long.
It's awesome. It doesn't really get good till season 2, though. Nothing. Anyway, I love the show. I get teary-eyed, too, in many parts of it. Yeah.
I cried a
When you
lot.
go to Zahadum, Charlize always says the same thing. Don't go to Zahadum, because she knows the show.
Oh, yeah.
So, great. There's stuff that don't pay off until season 4 or 5. So it is like a book. Even if you don't like the book, it is written like a book. But when, I don't know what to say about the show other than it does have a pretty good fan base, and good enough where the creator show didn't even know this was happening. There was people that loved the show this much that they went and took their time to remaster it, and they weren't even, and like the creator had no idea this was happening. They're like, we love the show. So it does have a pretty good following.
I don't actually have a burning hatred for the show. I just wasn't a fan, and you are, so therefore it translates to I have to mock it like extra a lot.
I'm being nicer because he's had me try to watch Battlestar Galactica, and I've seen
the remake.
The remake. I've seen 6 or 7 episodes, and I don't like it. But
yeah, and I watched like 78 episodes of Babylon 5.
I'm trying. I've been watching like one episode a month of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
But Starbuck, I just want to punch in the face. I hate her.
Starbuck, and I love that you see her in Mandalorian and knew it was Starbuck.
Yeah, I knew it was Starbuck.
It's entirely Starbuck.
Because I recognize her, because you didn't need to watch one episode of Battlestar Galactica and you know Starbuck forever.
I think her real name is Starbuck.
Starbuck.
That's what I think.
But if you like sci-fis and you're kind of like, it's the most comparable show of the era was Deep Space Nine of Star Trek. So if you like Star Trek Deep Space Nine, you'll probably like Babylon 5 as well. They're very similar shows.
I saw like a shit ton of the Next Generation. I don't think I ever saw a Deep Space Nine or a Voyager. I don't think I saw either one of them.
They were, TNG, the real fans call it that. That was all 80s, so it was like early 90s. That decade was Voyager and Deep Space Nine.
I won't lie, I was puzzling it out. I'm like, I don't know, what could it be? I got there.
And that's where the Grow the Beard came from that show. And it's true. The first season.
Have we talked about that, by the way?
I don't know if we have.
That, everyone knows, well, I presume everyone knows, jumping a shark, like Fonzie did when he jumped the shark.
When he jumped the shark, and the show was crap.
Yeah, it basically symbolizes when a show basically hits rock bottom and therefore is going to suck from there on in. And Kevin proposes that growing a beard is when
I didn't make this up.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've never heard anybody else say this, though.
Yeah.
That growing a beard is when a show basically does the opposite and becomes good, much like Riker did on the show.
And the show did good. That's when the Borg was introduced, and
I definitely
the show
dig the Borg. I'm a fan of the Borg.
The show got way more interesting. It was the first, and it had Q was in the first season, and it was kind of boring, the show, and it wasn't really fun. And then when Riker grew his beard, the show got more fun.
What is Geordi going to be the host of? Geordi is.
Oh, I thought he was gonna be Jeopardy, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, that's what I'd read then. Okay.
Yeah.
It was because I'd read that Geordi was going to be the host of something, and I was like, really?
I filed a petition for it.
But no, they have some other dude as
signed it.
host of Jeopardy.
Well, right now he says a temporary host. He was like
is
a
that what it
winner.
is? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think they found the permanent host yet.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah, I know.
That's tough.
And it's weird because I play Jeopardy every week on my Alexa.
Oh yeah,
because I love it.
Charlie's do that.
I love
it. Trivia too. I never think of it.
I feel like I'm smarter because of the trivia. Because I'm like, I didn't realize in 3rd century England you know what I'm saying? It's just some fascinating stuff that I'm like, I have no idea what this answer is. So you go through 50 questions basically because it's 5 days worth, 10 questions a day. It's 12 questions, so it's even more than that. I don't know that. I don't know how many questions that is.
60 or
something like that. But it's still Alex Trebek's voice saying from the grave, saying, "Welcome, playing Jeopardy." I'm like,
oh yeah,
this is weird.
Yeah, no, you got it though. I mean, it's the dude earned it.
He did.
So he died too while we've been away. So yeah, R.I.P. Alex Trebek. I mean, what a talent. What a dude. He was actually a Mensa member. I mean, the dude was fucking smart. He wasn't just reading cards.
Yeah, he already knew the answers.
Yeah, that's.
So that was a good show. But so I recommend the Babylon 5 if you want a good sci-fi that believes in Newtonian physics, that spaceships can't just stop on a dime. They can actually turn around and shoot going backwards. Come on, it's a real sci-fi show.
That 100 show, I laughed.
Which show that?
We watched the 100. It was.
I don't think I saw that one.
Don't.
Don't.
Honestly, I've seen worse pieces of crap, but it was bad at so many levels. But I actually thought of you when we watched this because I laughed out loud. Because they're in the space station and basically they have this pod that wants to escape. We'll just do highlights of the story.
Yeah.
So it just disconnects from the space station and falls to the planet.
That's not how it works.
And I just rolled because I'm like, Kevin would be screaming.
I get mad when
he would be furious right now.
Yeah. I don't like it when, especially I can understand sci-fi that came out like in the 60s or 70s, but now we know how things work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Interstellar stretch black hole theory a little bit, but for the most part, it was based on real science and it was believable.
It was missing the part Mikkel's favorite word,
spaghettification. And you kind of did it. It did a spaghettify, and that's what they say would have happened.
That's great.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson did a review of Interstellar, and he pointed out the few things that was wrong with the movie. It wasn't that much.
Okay.
Wasn't that much.
Yeah, that was tough. That was a heavy one.
Yeah.
I like the hard science, as they call it, though.
Yeah.
It's plausible.
Yeah.
That's basically what it means.
And from what we know now, yeah, kind of thing. It might change in 50 years, but yeah, I love that stuff. But if a show does it completely wrong, it bothers me.
NPR has I was going to say NPR has a show I like. Shout out to NPR, National Public Radio.
Yeah.
NPR has a lot of shows I like.
Yeah.
But one of them is called The Best of Our Knowledge.
Oh.
And I love that because that's as forthcoming as we can be because it's like, here's what we know, but when you get down to it, to the best of our knowledge.
Yeah.
Like we don't know any better yet.
Yeah. To the best of our knowledge, the Earth is not flat.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, boy, seriously, we are going backwards.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, people are running around there thinking the Earth is flat, and it's like, okay.
They thought the Earth was round in the Middle Ages. This is a new concept of flat Earth. It's actually new in the past 20 years.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
It's just brutal.
Yeah. It's awesome. Just so many dumb people.
It's just, I don't even know. Again, how do you debate that?
Yeah.
How do you have a basic conversation when, I mean, it's like me refusing to agree which way is up.
Yeah.
It's just like we got a problem here.
Yeah, up is north. Everyone knows that.
Oh, that's great. Exactly. Yeah, go up here, go east.
Sorry. That's how I give directions. How about you?
That is. So what else are you watching, actually?
I've been watching a bunch of movies that was on, they released. Like, I watched a movie. Let me think about what the movie I just watched. It was, trying to think. Oh, The Little Things. That was a movie that just came out recently. It was starring Jared Leto and who plays the hell out of Jared Leto.
Yeah.
He was the Joker. And
I know who
Suicide
Jared Leto
Squad.
is,
Yeah.
actually, yeah.
Was it 30 Seconds
Looks
of
like
Mars?
Jesus.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. He should just sing. So I hated every minute of that movie. Every minute of it.
Okay.
And it just came out. It was a movie release that they also released in Cinemax.
Okay.
And
so I can avoid that one?
yeah, I didn't really. It was a murder, mystery, and yeah, I just bleh.
Yeah. Didn't do it for you. Okay.
Didn't do it for me. I'm trying to think of what else to watch. I watched a movie. I think it was called I forget what it was called, but it was the girl from Les Mis who I Dreamed a Dream. She shaved her head. What's her face?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Give me a minute.
I just called it the Dream Girl.
Anne Hathaway, but she
That's
doesn't
her.
like being called Anne, I don't think.
Yeah.
Or something to
Annie
that effect.
Hathaway.
Yeah, something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
she played a movie I thought was interesting. It was a movie where it was COVID, and she was living with a guy, very good actor too, but I don't know his name. But living with him, and they're broken up. But it's COVID.
Yeah, so they're living together.
So they're living together, and at first I thought there was like this drama of them, just living together, and you're like, oh, they're gonna get back together or something. But they really hated each other.
It's fantastic.
And they're pretty much broken up until one day she's like, he's doing some weird job where, he's, using a fake ID. She knows about it, and he has to move some jewelry and stuff for this company. And, he's on the up and up. He's not a crooked guy or anything, but, he's treated poorly by everybody, including her. And she's a CEO of a company, so she's way higher level than him. it ends up being the same company that wanted to move the jewelry, and once they discover that, they're like, well, you know what we could do, and I'm not gonna say anymore, but it actually went from this weird drama that was like
To like a
realistic drama to all of a sudden it was like, well, that's a twist I didn't see coming.
heist movie, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah, it was, and it wasn't bad. Actually, way better than The Little Things. And I thought it was an interesting movie. I'd recommend that.
I love
one.
me a good heist movie, I have to admit.
Yeah, I was like,
Have
oh,
you ever seen the movie Heist, by the way? Gene Hackman?
yeah, yes, I did.
Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's been a year since I've seen it.
Just
yes, I love Gene
unbelievable.
Hackman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever that movie is, I do recommend it only because it's like it came unexpectedly with the movie twist. I wouldn't call it a twist, just a turn, a left turn.
Yeah,
It's like,
I
oh,
like that. I love being surprised.
yeah, I was like, I didn't see that happening. And I'm like, it was interesting. It's like, will they, won't they kind of thing, you know? I mean, because they have debate. Trust me, they did. But it's a very talky movie. So they had debates whether should we, shouldn't, you know, we shouldn't do this. And, you know, and he's like, we'll make the decision when we're there. And obviously everything goes
Yeah,
wrong, you know?
course.
So I don't know. I recommend it. I recommend it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. That's about it. I think I watched a lot of, you know, I think I've caught up completely on Shameless.
Probably a season behind now. I don't even know.
Yeah, you haven't watched it once since What's Her Face quit. And this is the last season of Shameless, too.
I don't think we have. I don't think we've watched it since Fiona quit.
Oh. Yeah, you didn't need her in the show. It's all right.
I never liked Fiona.
Yeah.
Never. Debs broke my heart. Grew all up.
She didn't get any better in the last season.
They all broke my heart, actually. You know, did I describe that well? Do you remember my
Yeah,
description of
you
that
did.
show to you?
Yeah.
It's I said everything plays out exactly like it was always
Yeah.
going to. You know, like exactly like it was meant to. And that's what's so tragic about that show.
What's the boy's name? Is it Carl? Or
Carl's my favorite. Fucking love
latest
Carl.
season? Still the best character.
Absolutely.
Still the
There's
best.
Probably nothing Carl can do
Yeah.
to lose my affection for him.
He has this different morality than the rest of them. Even though he will break the rules, it's just something different about
He has
it.
a code.
Yeah.
It's his code,
Yeah.
but he holds himself to a code, and I can respect that.
Yeah, and he still has a code in the latest season, so it's actually worth watching just for him, the newest season.
Yeah, see, I mean, again, it's, you know, a matter of, see, that's why I like the character Carl,
Yeah.
because it's a matter of knowing what right from wrong.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's when, once again, circle back, man.
Yeah.
When people can't tell that, how do you debate?
So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've been doing. And yeah, around Christmas I was watching Christmas movies, but yeah, I haven't been
Christmas
feeling
movies,
well.
anything
What's
good?
that?
Any Christmas movies?
Oh,
Classics?
Christmas movie? Oh, it's always classics.
Yeah, so what do you watch?
It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
It's Santa Claus. It's
Do you watch 1 through 3 or just the first one?
it was the first one. The other two aren't as good.
See, I concur, but the last scene of the second Santa Claus movie is just beautiful. She looks great. The outfits, everything's awesome, and it's just Christmas. And I happen to hate Martin Short, but
Yeah.
by then I'm committed.
Yeah.
Like we're going the full ride. We're
Yeah.
going. I did not watch them this year, but
Yeah, I
I
do
do
like
enjoy
those.
them.
I do like that, like Elf.
absolutely.
Yeah, I like the old ones. You know, Miracle on 34th Street, The Christmas Carols. Scrooged I watched this year.
I have never actually watched all of that, so I'm gonna have to watch Scrooge because I'm a huge fan of the Christmas Carol.
It's basically The Christmas Carol with Bill Murray being a weirdo.
This is great.
And Bobcat Goldthwait. Oh my God!
Hey, here we go. We got a guest star.
Oh hey.
There we are. Come on. Yeah. See you later.
So that's me. What are you watching, or did you watch?
You know, Mickles is. I've been having her basically watch so I can just either space out or play games or what have you. But she's been watching a lot of British shows that who can't tell you what they're about. But
Is it the one that Bridgerton where they get naked like halfway through it?
she watched that one. I think she watched all of them.
Yeah, my wife loved it.
I think she liked that one. Not 100%.
Yeah.
But she watched a show called The Durrells, and that one I pretty much paid attention to, and it actually wasn't half bad. It was kind of fascinating about basically a family that moved to this Greek island, and frankly, they all became writers. But it's really well done, actually. I kind of enjoyed it. It definitely wasn't my cup of tea at all.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was one of those shows that it was good enough to where even when I wasn't really paying attention, by the end of it, I knew all the characters, and, you know, it wasn't bad. But we watched a show called Salvation, which was, can't really recommend it. I can't go so far as to say it was good, but they did some good things. They did some really good things. Like, it kind of could have been good. They just didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
So I've definitely seen worse than that. and they did annoying things sometimes. I hate that. There's just some basic principles, writers. When you have a really smart person, you need to make them do really smart things.
Yeah.
that's the whole point of being really smart.
Yeah. Hey, when the plot says you got to do something stupid to move the plot forward, and let's pick a smart guy to do it.
It's just like be consistent here.
Yeah, I hate that.
But that being said, they actually had some really creative twists in hindsight. But I'll be honest, it was one of those shows where, like, Mickles will pause it when I go out and have smoke, and it was one of those shows like. You'd be like, you want me to pause it? But no, not really. If I miss anything big, let me know. But
I
I'm
do that a lot.
not going to.
I do that with the wife too. Want me to pause it?
No, it's
No, I can hear from the kitchen. It's fine.
yeah, they're going to be dusting something. It's cool.
Yeah.
But a new season is finished. I always wait till they finish before I start watching them. But we're watching a show that you really should check out. It's called The Expanse.
Oh, I think I've heard of it.
It's sci-fi, and I'll be honest. When we first started watching it, because Mickles and I, we've reached the point where we just want something to binge.
Yeah.
We want lots of episodes, and ideally it'd be good. But honestly, we just like lots of episodes. So if nothing else, we can at least bitch about it. But,
I think I've seen everything good so far on Netflix. I think I've really exhausted it.
Like, the 100 was, Mick liked it more than I did, but I wasn't crazy about it at all. Yeah. But it was like 7 seasons, and that was really quite satisfying. Anyway, The Expanse, season 1, I definitely did not give 2 shits about anybody. Just didn't care. Maybe by the end of it I did. I don't know. But we were watching it, and at some point I realized, wait, I care about some of these characters. And so it was one of those they sneak up. It kind of like Carl, actually, from Shameless, because you don't like Carl when you first meet him.
Yeah.
And then one season you're like, wait, Carl's my favorite. How did that happen?
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's same thing though, but you definitely like it because sci-fi and they salute science. In fact, they go to great lengths. This last episode, I made Mickles rewind it like 3 times because they do it so well you don't notice. But they're walking down a hallway in a spaceship, and they're walking funny. And I made her rewind it because I'm like, is what I think happening? And it really was. They're walking funny because they're wearing mag boots.
So no gravity.
So they're planting their feet with each step.
Yeah.
And they're doing it long before they get to the part where when they're walking down the hallway, somebody walks by them the opposite direction on the ceiling. And
that's awesome.
I'm like, and if you pay attention, they actually walk by people that are on the ceiling. But as it turns out, you don't really notice. Like, they walk by somebody, but your brain doesn't register that, wait, they're standing in the wrong axis.
Yeah.
They're standing on the wrong spot.
What are you doing? Was this MC Escher? What's going on?
And that is the kind of stuff that I'm like, I had Mickles pause it, and I'm just like, that's the kind of stuff that doesn't go unnoticed. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, it's appreciated by those who notice it, because she completely was oblivious to all of it.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that. Every now and again, I watch the movie 2001: Space Odyssey.
Okay.
Not because, don't get me wrong, it's a good movie.
We got to update the selection of what you watch on a regular basis.
I do like, because if you think about when it was made and what Stanley Kubrick accomplished in that movie, it did the same thing where they're walking in a weightless environment with the flight attendants coming out serving the food, and she's like walking like this because there's no gravity in the room, and all their dishes are made so nothing will float away.
Yep.
So it's a fascinating movie because for the time in the 60s, late 60s, when they made this movie, it's a fascinating, like, how realistic they made it. You know?
Those special effects were truly special.
It was really good. And it's really 3 movies. You can also watch in 3 parts because it really is 3 separate movies. Mm-hmm. And that's why the movie's so long. But it's worth watching. If you've never seen it, it is worth watching.
I've seen it. I want to say I've seen it more than once, to be honest.
You got the ape sequence, then you got the Mars sequence, then you have the future sequence with Dave and all that stuff where the computer decides to kill everybody.
Yeah.
And it's all fascinating.
I find that fascinating, too, that people are just convinced that, AIs, man, they're going to just kill us all.
That's what a lot of people think.
I know they do.
Scientists.
I don't know why they would. To what end? What did you do there? Oh, cats?
Cats climbing up my leg right now.
We've got kittens. You can now see prominently the tree for the kittens. But I believe we've introduced Daphne and Wilma. no replacing Baby Delilah or any of the other cats we've lost. But
Yeah.
house found empty without them, and
Yeah.
goddamn, I forgot the first year.
Yeah.
They destroy everything.
Oh.
They got a lot of energy.
See, I don't wear shorts here anymore because last time I had blood on my legs.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
Like
They're
I'm
brutal,
wearing
man.
jeans now. I don't know what I'm gonna do this summer.
Um, other than that, though, we haven't really watched. I haven't watched anything.
Oh,
that
I
can think
forgot. I watch all of Fargo,
Okay, yeah, we even started that. Yeah.
which Fargo, season 1 great, season 2 some parts
Oh,
greater, some parts not greater. The rest, I don't know what. It just this.
They lost it, huh?
It's not the worst show out there. Trust me, I've seen worse. It just the show is just not as good.
The problem is, man, I've almost always seen worse,
Yeah.
except for Enemy. Way to go, Enemy.
Yeah, Enemy's great.
I've never seen anything worse than that.
But what I liked about Fargo was that they had like subtle humor, kind of like the Coen brothers originally put in the movie. And it's like it's a lot of tongue in cheek, a lot of, and
Oh, I know what we
it
watched.
kind of went away.
Mickles watched a show, and I watch it, and it's effing hysterical. It's a movie, or it's a show called Staged, and it's just two actors speaking to each other, and I have no idea what their names are. And one's Michael, and I don't know what the other one is. But it's effing hysterical. It's just truly hysterical. And they're one of those shows that Seinfeld always did this, where they do a great job of wrapping it all up, where, they start with like joke A,
Yeah.
all sorts of filler, all sorts of other jokes, all sorts of funny things, and then next thing you know, they're somehow looping back to joke A.
It's okay. I like
and
that.
you realize that everything's connected, and it's just, I do appreciate that. And sometimes it's almost like a package. They put a bow on it. Seinfeld was so good at that, where they just put a bow on it so neatly, wrap up all the loose ends, and do it in a witty way. But and it's a short show too, so it's something. It really is something. It makes me laugh periodically, and I'll take that.
Yeah.
So that's about it, though. Again, I haven't watched a movie in ages. I really haven't.
Well, sometimes I think recently the wife was like, we're just talking, and we're like, we mentioned number 5, and we're like, well, you know what? Let's watch Short Circuit. What the hell?
Fantastic.
So we did. And the movie's, and you know what? I decided I am now and always be a Steve Guttenberg fan. I love everything he's ever done. I love myself on Guttenberg. I don't care what he does.
I can't throw a stone at you for it because I too am a child of the '80s. But I mean, how often do you hear that, folks? Seriously.
He was just in his show. It's the reason what happened was we were watching a show, the spinoff of it's Sheldon. So it's a spinoff of The Big Bang Theory.
Which this will blow your mind. I've literally never seen an episode.
Oh no, actually, it wasn't that episode? Oh, that's a good show. No, it wasn't that show. It was the Goldbergs.
You know what
which
I
is all
think
about the
when
80s.
By the way, you should get this reference. You know what I think of when I see Sheldon?
What?
It says balls on your forehead.
It does. Garden State.
That's what I think of when I see Sheldon.
Yeah. It says balls in your head. Yeah. That's awesome. Best line in the movie, too. Oh, it's Zach Braff. Man, he can write a good movie.
Dude's got great taste in music.
He does. But no, it's Goldbergs, which every episode takes place in the 80s something, and Gutenberg guest starred in there where they're it's called the Cocoon episode.
Friend of mine I grew up with actually is a cameraman.
cameraman.
On the Goldbergs.
So-
Shut up, Nate.
So the show is a comfort because the show is like this. Every episode is an 80s theme. One time it's David Hasselhoff and the Knight Rider or whatever. So it's always. And the last episode was just aired was the Cocoon episode, and Gutenberg guest starred in it.
Oh, that's great.
And he still looks like Gutenberg. And that was hilarious.
The dude has aged well. I've seen pictures.
Yeah, and the kid's like talking to him about Cocoon, about the best movie ever made, and it's the Gutenberg.
Yeah,
he's talking
great.
to him. So I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So then we just felt like watching Short Circuit because that's one of the better Gutenberg movies.
I can honestly say I've not watched that in, 30 years?
Yeah,
Probably more.
yeah. Ali Sheedy was terrible in the movie, by the way. She wasn't very
Ali
good in it.
Sheedy bothers
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, there was an issue with her, and she acted horribly in it.
The woman's done nothing to me.
Yeah,
I don't know the woman. I've never met the woman. She's one of those people I see her on screen. I'm irritated at some level. I don't know what it is about her.
I think everybody hated her in the Breakfast Club.
I even saw her years later. We saw a movie called High Art with her in it, which actually, shout out, it was a good movie. It irritates me. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
Just certain people kind of irritate me.
There's only one movie I've ever seen with Ali Sheedy that I didn't hate her, and that was War Games. We'll talk about that in some other episode because
Fantastic.
that's a great 80s flick.
Actually, Matthew Broderick, I mean, seriously.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just we celebrate.
I'd piss on a spark plug if I thought it would help.
That's great.
Great line. I'm telling you, it's a great movie.
On that one.
Yeah, that one.
You listening to anything good?
No, but I've been listening to stuff. I've been listening to the Guess Who.
Yeah, you've been singing it all night. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's good for you. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good music. Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched, a lot of clips, and then I've been watching a lot of Flight of the Conchords, classic
That's
band there.
Good for you too.
Yeah, it's good for me too. But yeah, I didn't realize how many good songs that because I was actually what happened
Guess
was
Who's amazing. Yeah.
he was on Howard Stern and Burton Cummings had a keyboard and Howard Stern just saying play part of this song, and he just start playing it.
Oh, that's great.
And then he would explain what they're about, like American Woman. It wasn't really they hated American women. He just thought they were like really loose when he came to the United States because they're Canadian. It's a Canadian band,
Yeah.
and they were like way more conservative when they went back to Canada. So it wasn't really an anti-American song. Just kind of like it's like American Woman, stay away from me. You're kind of dirty and gross for me, I guess.
You skeeved me out.
Yeah, he skeeved me a bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, turned out to be a big hit.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, we are.
yeah, we are.
We embrace that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a song named Share the Land that they refused to play in Texas because they thought it was a communist song.
Oh my God, I love that song.
Yeah.
I love I love the end of that song. Everybody walking by the river now.
Yeah.
They're walking, talking, smiling, laughing. They're digging each other.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Freaking love it.
So yeah, I've always been a fan of the Guess Who.
Me as well. Yeah.
But yeah, I in fact I didn't know the lead singer was Burton Cummings. But I did talk about his. He had another singer with him, and it was Bachman.
Yeah.
But he called him Backman.
That's
So
right.
I guess in Canadian they pronounce it a little
Backman
differently.
Turner Overdrive.
I guess it is
Yeah.
because he must be Canadian too.
I find that fascinating though because you know how much I love music, and I know I barely know Jerry Garcia's name.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anybody's name.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know. I know Bachman or Backman. I knew him, but I guess I didn't know Cummings, his name. But then I saw just when you're on YouTube knows what I want, and they constantly show me Howard Stern because I always click on. If I see Howard Stern and a band I like, I listen to it because it always sounds good.
Oh, okay.
So
I used to always listen to the Stern Show, literally every day, and I haven't in years. But for the record, I have Sirius.
Oh.
Um,
yeah, I guess I like a YouTube because it's just the music clips, and they always I don't know what it is. They always sound good, you know.
I was the dude that at one point Sirius had a lifetime membership.
Yeah,
It was $500, and everyone thought I was crazy. I bought two.
you want to?
Everyone thought I was nuts. You know how much money I saved because of that?
Yeah, it is because it's. I think normally it's
It's like
about
$15 a month, right?
Yeah, it's 15 to 30. Yeah, depending what channels you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've been paying for my wife's car for a year now, and she looked at me one day and goes, "Why are you still paying for that? I haven't driven the car in 3 months." I go, maybe I should turn it off
That's a
in the
good
car.
argument, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, so that's what I've been listening to, a lot of old music. I think I did listen to some of the lead singer of Animals you're talking about.
Oh, Eric Burton there. Yeah, that
I've
guy's
been-
amazing.
Yeah, I've been listening to some
And
of it.
yeah, he
so-
was a real douche from what we understand, but
Yeah.
doesn't change the fact dude made awesome music.
And I went to a kick where I was watching every single video I could find on the Beatles.
Can't really go wrong with that. I don't like me shiny happy Beatles. I like me a drugged up Beatle.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
It's just I'm sorry if you ask me if you charted it out. It's don't get me wrong. You know, as I'm a red and a blue album guy because it's just the
Yep.
age. You know, so
Yep.
the red album, yeah, no question, they're talented. I definitely like a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But if you were charting it out, you hit the blue album,
Yeah.
and it's like a cliff wall.
Yeah.
The talent just skyrockets. It's like freaking Pet Sounds for the Beach Boys.
Well, that's the thing is I was going to bring that up because that actually came out before the drugged up Beatles years. And John Lennon and Paul McCartney said, we want to make an album like Pet Sounds
Who doesn't?
and just take it a little bit further.
Yeah.
So that's what that was. That was an influence for the Beatles
Yeah.
was Pet Sounds.
Yeah.
So I watched a whole video on Brian Wilson and him being crazy and losing his mind over the years. But
No, yeah.
I watch some fascinating videos on that. That's on YouTube as well.
I have to admit, I'm a huge Brian Wilson fan, and yes,
Yeah.
batshit crazy, but whatever.
Yeah, just genius. And
Yeah.
it's a shame that he went nuts because I think he would have produced a way more interesting music if he didn't lose his mind
You know,
when he did.
It's funny. I said this at work the other day, and it applies. But Paranoia is just crazy until you're right, in which case it becomes genius.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, how'd you know?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Because
bound to happen.
I'm generally a
Yeah.
I don't know if I go so far as paranoid, but I prepare. I'm a contingency guy. I prepare for lots of things that never come to fruition.
Yeah.
But again, is that paranoia?
Yeah.
But then something occurs and I'm prepared for it, and now it's you're a genius.
You're a genius. Yeah.
It's like, no, it's crazy a minute ago.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the answer is yes.
Yes,
The answer is both.
Yeah. See, I made this arc and one of each animal. I don't care that one would eat the other. They just came on boat peacefully. I'm not crazy.
That's great.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
I mean, if we're gonna piss off all of religion, you gotta go. You gotta go earlier. Who was it? Abraham.
Abraham.
Was
Oh, with his.
it I'm gonna kill my son
yeah.
because this crazy voice in my head told me to.
Yeah, that's. So,
But don't worry, he stopped him last minute, so it's okay.
It's okay.
No, it's not fucking okay.
No.
Let me just throw that out there. Not okay.
Cuckoo.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow, who haven't we pissed off? Well, Mormon's
Yeah.
not for nothing. Joey Smith, really? You're
Yeah, I
gonna follow
know.
him? He didn't even fucking make it where you're going.
Yeah, I know. and trust me, if you get a name like that, you're fake.
I don't think he's a real prophet. He can't even navigate.
Yes. I'm lost.
He cannot
I guess we'll
navigate
stay
the
here.
terrestrial plane. What
Yeah.
makes you think he has any influence in the spiritual realm?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything
Boy.
I know about the Mormons, I learned from South Park.
If we haven't offended you yet, please write in. Tell us how. We'll get to it next episode.
Yes.
That being said, though, I have been listening to what I typically do, which is literally everything. I'm all over the place. I literally am all over the place, and it's crazy. But I don't know if I've ever talked about this dude before, and you can't talk about this person enough. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I can't emphasize enough. You got to go and listen. I'll even give you some recommendations, but I don't believe I've ever heard a bad song by Sam Cooke.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, I cannot begin to gush enough about Sam Cooke. Every time I hear Sam Cooke, I think to myself, my God, I should listen to more Sam Cooke. I'll come running back to you. Absolute great song. A Change Is Gonna Come. That's definitely great. Comes Love is another good one, but I played it right before the show. Bring It On Home. It's just,
Yeah.
it's just absolutely great, and a great song. Well done, too, Kevin. And just gotta say, seriously, I'm a huge fan of Sam Cooke, and give it a listen. I don't even know what you call that. Is it golden oldie? I guess I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even
It's
know
fucking
anymore.
awesome.
I don't even know what classic rock era it is. I think it's about 1985.
Don't start with me. Don't start with me. Them there are fighting words. So,
What, Van Halen's not classic rock now?
oh my God, it kills me. It breaks my heart. GNR, you'll never be classic rock.
Oh, come on.
No, all you need is a little patience. No, it doesn't work.
November Rain.
You can be patient as you want. You're never going to make it. Wow, and Jethro Tull's metal. What the fuck is wrong with the world, Kevin? What is going on?
Wasn't the flute metal? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's made out of metal, right?
Jethro Tull blows.
He does blows. So does, what's his name? What's
Kenny
his name?
G.
Kenny G blows. That's one I like to.
Oh boy,
Oh,
we digress. So Kevin,
I don't drink.
um,
This is just us.
yeah, this is just the various drugs coursing through your body for medical reasons,
Yeah.
having side effects.
I know. I think I lost it. My beard fell off.
What are you playing? Playing anything?
Oh, video game wise, I really haven't. I would say over the past month, I played 2 video games. One was called StarCraft 2,
Nice.
and the other one is called Horizon Zero Dawn,
Okay.
which I've already played twice on the PlayStation and beaten it twice. And now I'm playing the PC, but I'm taking my time because it's easier to cheat on the PC. I
Nice.
can really take my time
Yep.
and not worry about these giant metallic dinosaurs eating me.
That's always a worry of mine.
Yeah, the game's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous.
You ever seen the robot insurance commercial?
I don't know.
Sam Waterston, I think it is. I think that's his name. The dude from Law and Order.
Oh, I don't know.
I'll have to play it for you after this. Yeah, so if you're
I'll
bored, search for Sam Waterston robot insurance.
Oh.
It was an SNL bit and tickles my funny bone. But anyway, yeah, so you're playing StarCraft 2, were you?
Yeah, StarCraft 2. Somebody gave me as a present,
Yeah.
and I played. There was some campaigns on it. I'm not good at the game at all, even a little.
That's what I've been playing lately, and I seem to celebrate all things Blizzard. I just really do, and I'm horrible at the game, absolutely. And but I enjoy playing it, so I think I'm going to play that more for a while.
Yeah.
And be horrible at it.
Yeah.
So
I did pre-order Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
I knew that. Yeah.
It's very exciting because there's one menu now.
Okay.
For all three games.
All 3 games. Yep.
All 3 games, and basically, a lot of people joke because you can mod the games and you can mod them and make them look like this already.
Yeah.
From years ago, but they're doing more than just some more better textures for things, or they redid a lot of the effects, so it's pretty cool. And I know you haven't played the third one yet.
I did buy it though; it was on sale.
It was on sale.
So.
Oh, if you bought the Mass Effect 3, you get $10 off on the Legendary Edition.
Oh, in that case, I won't buy it.
You won't buy it.
No.
So I already did.
I'm probably,
I got the $10 off.
God only knows when I'm going to play Mass Effect 3.
I just
For the record, look at all the crap I
Yeah.
go through though,
Yeah.
based on your recommendations.
I know, and come on, Mass Effect 2 is one of the best games ever made.
I don't
Suicide
know
Mission.
I don't know if I can say that though.
They're all on everybody's list,
Um,
and these are nerds.
no, I hear you.
They're not Republicans making these lists.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I was going to say.
See, that's the bringing the joke.
Your statistics almost never work with me,
I know.
for that reason.
I know.
For that reason.
I know. I don't know. Mass Effect really was
I'm not saying
meant
it was
a lot
bad
to me.
game. No, I enjoyed it.
I like the stories. Those games are tough because with our attention spans, I think both our attention spans are getting diminished as we get older. Those games you need to not just fight.
I think we're getting. I think it's funny. I think I'm coming full circle in that regard,
Yeah.
in regards to video games, because I do find that I'm enjoying the games that are more action oriented lately.
Yeah.
Simply because, and I'm certainly not getting faster, but it's because there's less to think about. I mean, you play games with me. I'm horrible. I'm like, hey, there's a story somewhere. Let's go kill something.
Yeah.
Like, what's moving?
Yeah.
Let's fix that.
And Mass Effect is not that game. The game, you have to follow along the story to give a crap about it.
Yeah, yeah, and actually, I will say there were a couple things. I kept killing my lizard dude, and I didn't mean to, and I played through the game without him because I couldn't figure out how to keep him alive.
Oh, Rex.
Yep, Rex.
Yep.
I wrecked him right off the rip.
He survived.
I killed the purple girl at the end, and I wouldn't have done that. I would have killed the brunette.
Oh.
I would have sent her in a heartbeat if I'd known I was.
Ashley.
It doesn't make
I
it
know
clear
more.
they're going to kill
Right.
who you pick.
Yeah.
Because if I'd known that, I would have been like, oh, get rid of her for sure.
Yeah. It's funny because because obviously at least you give it an effort, but there's a lot of videos on the internet and you can lose everybody, including yourself.
Nice. Yeah.
So it is literally
Oh,
a
I
suicide
did.
mission.
I did lose everybody, actually.
Oh, you did?
Well, no, I got them back, but they were liquid.
Oh, they're liquid. Yeah,
Happens.
that's pretty awesome though. I like the sci-fi of that.
One chick was fine though, and it was
Yeah.
just because she had superior voice acting.
Oh,
No, I'm not kidding. Like one NPC was just somehow everyone else is dead, and she's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah,
and
that's-
I'm like, yeah, your voice quality is fantastic.
Yeah.
I can see how you lived through this.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. But that's not many games where you have a suicide mission and you can get everyone can survive or everyone could die, including. And it's really cool if you watch the videos of because I didn't know the main character could die, but he can.
Okay.
And they show him jumping at the end and just
Oh.
missing.
Yeah, Shepard's not a dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, FemShep. Oh, and
I'm a femship.
I'm such a softie because FemShep wasn't a big deal in the first Mass Effect 1 and 2. It really wasn't. In fact, all the animations were the same. They had weird animations where your man spreading and stuff, and you have FemShep there, and it's just the same guy animation. It didn't look right. And they didn't really put FemShep in until Mass Effect 3 as like her separate animations.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing with the Legendary Edition. They redid FemShep. So you can have
okay.
the same FemShep through the entire series because people say, hey, we kind of like FemShep better than the male Shep. And they showed the voice actress watching the trailer for it and realizing that's what they did, and she started crying.
Aw.
So I'm a softie. I like when people do that. So
Yeah.
the FemShep really likes the fact that FemShep got really popular after the fact because it was basically mostly the man Shep that was the main character for the longest time. But
We've shared this on the show, but it basically boils down to would I rather look at the male or female form?
yeah. Yeah. Once he said that to me, I started doing the same thing. I'm like, you're right. Why do I have to look at a dude's butt this whole time?
I mean, not for nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I stare at an ass for 30 hours.
He made me feel dumb. I was like, you have a point. It's like, wow.
Simple logic.
Yeah, I know.
You know what it is? Because it was me too, but it took me a long time. But I learned to, if you take a bite of like a candy bar and you're like,
Yeah.
boy, this is horrible, try this.
Yeah.
I will look you in the eyes and say, no.
No.
Most people won't do that.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, the instinct is, let me confirm if he's correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to say, you know what, I'm going to take your word for it on this one.
I will take your word. So,
And
see,
I say that on the heels of the you need to be able to distinguish fact from fiction.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to kill anybody because his candy bar tastes bad.
Yeah.
I just want to throw out the distinction there.
Yeah. So I have not played Mass Effect as the female yet. Because it's been years since I played it all the way through.
It's so much better.
Yeah, so I'm going to play it again when the Legendary comes out in May. I'm going to play it FemShep the whole time for the first time.
Nice.
Ever.
Yep. And you'll be able to see what's different.
And I think I might record it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think I might record me playing it.
Nice.
Because I'm weird and soft, and I will watch it physically too.
Oh,
But
you'll like ball and stuff.
there's scenes I get teary-eyed. Because there's characters, I'm not going to, because I haven't seen Mass Effect 3 because it's the end of the story, and bad things happen to some characters.
I gotta say, I'm not emotionally invested in them
And
enough.
it's not just me. There's you can look at the internet. People do get sad over these characters that get
I'm
killed
sure.
off.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah, they're
I
like-
just,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any character in that. Like, if you killed Shepard, I'd be like, oh, whatever.
But what if it was Carlton from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
You know, that's funny, actually. I don't know if I've ever seen a full episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
What?
I'm not kidding. I've never seen Full House.
There's
I've never seen Family Matters.
there's a scene that they show every now and again of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air where it was a scene where Will Smith's father just kind of like ditched him whatever, and he went to his surrogate father that was taking care. I forget his name, and Will Smith just like, why doesn't he want me? And starts bawling, and I get like teary-eyed every time I see that scene.
Aw.
It is a rough scene.
Yeah, that sounds it.
So Will Smith.
I'm a huge Will Smith fan.
Yeah.
I'm not even remotely
I
kidding.
don't care how many Vivians there was.
The dude's charismatic.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
is.
you just can't take it away from him. The dude is charismatic.
You knew at that point he was going to be a big blockbuster actor when that scene happened because I felt it.
And
he
he's
was
another one
balling
of
in that
those
scene.
where, like, let's face it, Will Smith doesn't act save his life. He plays the shit out of Will Smith, and
Yes.
he's really good at it.
Yes.
It's like
Yeah,
Jason
kind of like
Bateman.
Keanu.
Yeah,
and-
it's funny, Keanu. Yeah, but
Keanu's
Jason
another-
Bateman, man, I love
Yeah.
Jason Bateman, and he
Yeah.
plays the shit out of Jason Bateman.
And I'm okay with that. If you're cool, play the shit out of yourself.
Absolutely, I freaking love him. Not kidding. I mean, just everything I've ever seen him in, even little big cameos. I'm like, I fucking love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Sean Connery's like that too. You would see him in Hunt for October playing a Russian with a Scottish accent. It was Sean Connery.
It was Sean Connery. Yeah.
You know, you couldn't pull a Russian accent off. Some things here don't react well to bullets.
That's Russian, right? Right?
Yeah, right.
Will anybody notice?
Anybody knows? I love that movie, by the way.
These days, I'm not certain they would.
Yeah, no, probably
I'm
not.
not certain it would be an issue.
Yeah.
Um,
What are we talking about?
I've never seen that one either, by the way.
Hunt for October, great movie. It's worth watching. Tim Curry's in it.
And the worst part is, I swear, I watch way too much TV.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like you watch way too much TV. You gotta watch some movies. That's one thing I want to add to the show, too, besides moving the logo. I want to talk more about...
Just had that big change?
Yeah, that's...
Slow down.
Come on, I know, we're going a little fast, but I do want to talk about movies that people may have forgotten about, and that, if you haven't seen them in 30 years or whatever, or you're too young and you haven't really... Of course, I don't think anybody's young to listen to the show anyway. But I want to talk about movies I really enjoyed and why.
If you're young and you're listening to this show,
Yeah,
the
you're like,
question as ever.
Yeah, watch Goonies.
No, where are your parents?
Where are your parents?
Should
Yeah.
not be listening.
I know.
Um,
But yeah, I would like to add that to the show too. Is talk about movies, but this is just a quick reintroduction to season 2.
Yeah, so we had high hopes of getting a whole lot done and all sorts of things, and it's coming, and
It's coming.
I think we had high hopes of season 2 being infinitely better than season 1, and remains to be seen.
Yeah,
We'll see.
We'll see.
But either way, we're really glad to be back.
Yep.
And sorry for keeping everybody waiting an extra long time, and even more sorry this is what you waited for. But sincerely love having you here. I know people do like this, so we're going to keep doing it. We're having a great time, and would love to hear from you. So again, feel free to write us. Let us know what you think. And you have any shout-outs of any kind? Been a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out to the wife. She's really had to put up with me because when I'm not feeling well, I'm a cranky son of a gun. So
Oh.
I'm gonna shout out to the wife. For
That's
putting
very
up with
nice
me.
of you,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, that's kind of. I'm gonna just say a blanket shout out to the wife. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of a given. Like, holy shit, you put up with me. Wow.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, lucky girl. Lucky girl. But anyway, that's very nice. I will
Yeah.
say shout out to my nephew Nick. Actually, shout out to both my nephews, Nick and Matt. I'm kind of what you call, let's think about this, a shitty uncle, actually. And I still haven't mailed your Christmas gift because I'm dumb and I forgot. So I have it. It's wrapped. I just haven't mailed it. So
Well, when does it get to the point where you just wait till next Christmas?
I was hoping there was a birthday.
Oh, okay. Oh, birthday. Yeah.
Just kidding. So just throwing that out there because I know he listens. I'm sorry you got a shitty uncle, but I do in fact love you. So just throwing that out there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it. So, well, with that being said, then are you ready? Do you remember how to dismount? It's been so long.
How do you get off this? Oh yeah, here we
You
go.
remember how this works?
Oh, it's
yeah.
it's that way.
Yeah, okay. You got it figured out.
Okay,
All right. Well,
okay.
that being said, this is Sean,
And this is Kevin.
and that's the one other thing.
Good night. Oh, so close.
I was gonna write it if I needed to.
Yeah. It's like, what am I supposed to say?
My OCD was kicking in.
Jesus God.